Double J, Jeff Jarrett, here to tell you a little bit about the nonstop savings happening over here at SaveWithConrad.com. Are high credit card balances holding you down on the card? If you're looking to give a guitar shot to your credit card debt or give your home the push it deserves with some upgrades and remodeling, you need to go to SaveWithConrad.com. That's right, SaveWithConrad.com. Conrad and his team are routinely helping My World listeners save $5, $6, $7, even $800 a month. Oh, did I mention you get to skip your next 2 house payments? Take a cue from the last outlaw, because if anybody knows how to get the bag, it's me. Strut on over to SaveWithConrad.com today and see how much money you can save for free. That's right, it's SaveWithConrad.com.
NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. Woo!
Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett, First Arcade, 605 NWA, TV title, Cajun Omni, The Bunkhouse Stampede, Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team, Turner, Barton, Mid-South Joint World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Friends North, they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off center stage, Bischoff, Disney, Hogan, and Nitro, New World Order, and The Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't pass. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chair. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when? WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Man, you've had quite a week. It has been a huge week for AEW. Of course, Collision, as we're recording, aired last night. And tonight, I can't believe this is real. Jeff Jarrett is taking on Mark Briscoe in a concession stand brawl. This is old school as old school gets. A lot of exciting stuff happening in AEW. The least of which we should mention, I can't believe it. Forbidden Door is this weekend. Dude, we got a big show tonight. We got a big show on Friday night. We got a huge show on Saturday night. We got a freaking pay-per-view on Sunday. Tony, not that long ago, you weren't involved in wrestling. Now you're too deep. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm too deep. I'm almost too old for it too.
No, you're not. Shut up.
Yeah, it's wearing my ass out. No, I'm having a great time. I really am. And I had so much fun in the first Collision. I really did. I had a great time. Long night for us because we did some Ring of Honor afterwards. And so, but the travel is amped up a little bit. Basically, my travel now is in every Tuesday, let me back up. In every Wednesday, home every Thursday, then leave every Saturday, home every Sunday, with the exception of, coming up this weekend because we're going to be in Canada for a little bit. We'll spend a lot of time in Canada over the next couple of months too.
Hey, I want to mention tickets are on sale right now. AEW TIX. There is a Collision in Toronto. That's right. Before Forbidden Door, go see the brand new show, which, by the way, Tony, I had a great time watching. Like, it feels like it's a new set. It feels like production, like the camera angles and some of the shots and the way it was lit. Like, I think you guys did a great job, man. It was a fun watch. I don't know what I expected, but it exceeded my expectations. I enjoyed the first Collision. And how about Andrade El Idolo? I think he and Buddy maybe stole the show. What a match they had.
Yeah, well, that was tremendous. My favorite part was being able to do the scissor.
I forgot you got scissored on national TV, Tony.
That was tremendous.
Just in time for Father's Day, little Father's Day scissoring.
Yeah, and I really didn't. We had talked about that earlier. We talked about how we were going to do the interview and everything, and I just thought they were going to scissor. I didn't really know it was going to be me, so that was kind of a surprise to me. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Boy, they get a hell of a response, man, from the fans. They had a great crowd. We really had a great crowd, and so expect another great crowd back in Chicago tonight. So, yeah, it's good time to be a wrestling fan. I say it all the time, but it really is.
Every single time AEW does a pay-per-view, they over-deliver. This weekend will be no different. I can't believe it. Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega in a rematch. Can't wait to watch that one. And maybe the match I didn't know I needed. Okada and Bryan Danielson, Tanahashi and MJF. This is going to be unbelievable. And to get us in the mood for some great Japanese wrestling action, we're actually going to be watching a match from Japan today. July 24th, 1998. It's going to be Kobashi versus Akiyama. And I know that when Dave Meltzer finds out that we're watching this, he's not even going to need any Blue Chew. But if you do, let me tell you how to get that ding dong real hard. It's BlueChew.com. See, that's where you'll find the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. And the process is simple. You'll sign up at BlueChew.com. You'll consult with one of their licensed medical providers. And once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And here's the best part. It's all done online. So that means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversation, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA, prepared and shipped directly to your door, all in a discreet package. And Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. So let's chew it and do it, y'all. We got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code WHW at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com. The promo code WHW will help you get your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring today's podcast. So, Tony, normally whenever we do a watch along like this for our Patreon, one of our Low Key Big Hog members picks what we're going to be watching. This is not a bonus. This is a very special edition because one of your great close personal friends picked it. And I think they're actually going to be joining us. A very rare guest run in on what happened when. We know we're watching Akiyama versus Kobashi from July 24th, 1998. But who in the world picked this match and is joining us right now, Tony?
The one and only, my favorite of all time, and I've worked with many of them. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston. Eddie.
Can you fucking hear me now, Schiavone? I know you guys got to edit this for YouTube and shit, but this is like the fourth fucking time.
We can hear you.
Fuck!
Oh, goodness
Coming in
gracious.
hot.
We're
Coming in hot, baby. Let's do it.
Hey, Eddie. We're going to watch some
Tony.
We're going to watch some Japanese All Japan bullshit wrestling. Is that what we're going to watch?
That's what you told me. Hey, you know what's funny? That's what he told me. What, my third day there?
Yeah.
Oh, what? What are you going to do? Your Japanese bullshit?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, this is the relationship we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So, hey, I'm excited to watch it. I haven't watched this since 99. I think I got a tape of this in 99. So it'll be the first time I've seen it in a long, long time. But why did you pick this match in particular for us to watch today, Eddie?
Oh, because fucking Schiavone only knows Akiyama. So I thought maybe put a match on that Akiyama did great in against probably my favorite wrestler, Kenta Kobashi. Terry Funk's the GOAT, not Bryan Danielson, Schiavone.
Yeah.
Even though I know you're supposed to say it on TV, you fuck.
So we were talking about Bryan Danielson one night. It was a couple of weeks ago. And I said, Bryan Danielson is probably the best professional wrestler I've ever seen. And my phone lights up. Bing! It's Eddie Kingston. It's Terry Funk. Yeah. You fuck. Well, we got Mr. King.
I'm sitting there after hernia surgery, watching Dynamite on, what is it, on TBS or TNT? I'm trying to plug this shit.
It's TBS.
Yeah, one of the fucking Turner stations.
Yeah.
And I hear the blasphemy coming out of Excalibur and Schiavone's mouth about Bryan Danielson being the GOAT. I said, absolutely not. I can't let this go. Can't let this go. Got a group chat with the guys, so they're on live, and I go, hey, fuckos, it's Terry Funk's the greatest of all time.
Yeah. So,
I love it. I love it.
Well, all seriousness, I picked this match because of Akiyama and because of Kenta Kobashi. And I also, around this era in 98, you could kind of show anybody these matches and they wouldn't need to know the deeper level or the Easter eggs to it. they would just have to. They would just see two guys fighting their balls off to win.
Right.
So that's why, around this era.
Well, I want to see the Easter eggs to it. But before we do, Eddie, I want to talk about your match against Akiyama. That obviously was a big moment in your career. I mean, that was an emotional night for you, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely was. And I think he gave me so much confidence afterwards. You see, I know a lot of people want to make money in this business, which I do. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
And people want to win championships and all that, which I do. But that's not number one. Number one is getting respect from my peers and the generations that inspired me. So when people like Akiyama come up to me, or Arn, or Billy Gunn, or you know what I mean? I had Tanahashi come speak to me. I'm not talking about you, Schiavone. You never bumped a day in your fucking life.
Okay.
MJF pushed him down that one time.
I was trying to pick my tooth.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so he also, of course, Schiavone. Of course, you know that. Why do I have to fucking put you over on your own show? You know what I mean? Come on. But that means more to me than a lot of the other stuff. So
yeah,
having his respect means the world to me. Having respect from those before me means a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and Eddie, you're going looking for respect. As I understand it, you're going to be competing in the G1 Climax. Is that real?
Yeah, that's real, and that's insane to me.
Right?
That's fucking. I'm not supposed to, Conrad. I'm not supposed to be here, dog. It's not supposed to be my deal. I'm supposed to be back in New York. I am working. I'm not supposed to be doing what I'm doing right now. So I'm shocked. I'm happy. I'm whatever. I'm nervous. All that. But I know I got to do a job. So I'm going to do my job. You know. Also, I get a whole fucking month away from Schiavone and AEW. That's going to be awesome. I couldn't have lined it up better, having the hernia surgery, coming back for a little bit, and then again. Let's go. I did it right. Only would be proud.
Yes, he would.
Of course, we also got to see you make your AEW return, and you did it in a Lowest Rules t-shirt. How in the world does that come to be, Eddie?
Schiavone bitches and moans that his family's in the business now, and how they're all superstars now, and his son needs an agent, and his wife's more over than him. And we laugh it up, and I said, let me get a Lowest Rules shirt so Lois now every time can say to him, there's that wrestler that wore my shirt every night.
I love it.
I really didn't know what
to,
I didn't know what to say when you came out with the shirt on. I didn't know whether to say, to put it over. You can get it at lowestrules.com because, you know, JR does get by plugging sometimes his barbecue sauce on the side, but I just kind of left it alone. You know, I didn't want to take away from the moment of Eddie Kingston finally walking back into AEW. So it was.
Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. You probably had Tony Khan in their headset saying, don't fucking dare plug your shirt. It's not an AEW shirt. Don't you fucking dare plug that. And Bryan Danielson's the GOAT. Say it now.
I love it.
Bryan Danielson's the GOAT.
I love it. Eddie Kingston on energy drinks. Let's watch this match. Here we go, Mr. Akiyama and Mr. Kobashi from the summer of 1998. The Budokan Hall, 16,300 fans. It's a sellout. Dave Silva's rolling that match for us right now.
忘れることのできない試合、それは何といってもデビュー戦小橋さんとの試合です。今日小橋さんといい試合を見せる。
So what are they saying here, Eddie? You speak Japanese. You'll be able to tell us. What are they saying there?
Yeah, they're saying Schiavone fucking sucks. Lowest Rules. And let's get to the matchup already and serve this up. Great music. All that other shit. I have no idea.
Okay, let's let the fans know, and many fans do know this. Some of the fans, because we talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling and DDT and Pro Wrestling Noah a lot, but this is All Japan Pro Wrestling. This was Giant Baba's promotion, right? All Japan?
Yes.
Yeah, this was Giant Baba's promotion, yeah. When Ricky Dozan started basically pro wrestling in Japan,
right?
After he died, there was a split between Inoki and Baba. Inoki started New Japan, and Baba started All Japan.
Right.
There's Akiyama right there with hair.
Wow.
It's a little different there.
Badass.
Boy, does he ever, man.
Still a badass.
Badass. Ruggedly handsome, too.
Sure.
It was just to add some context here. This is July of 98. So this would have been the same month where you guys are doing the basketball players and the mixed tag. This would have been the same month where we've got Goldberg winning the world title. We got Sable out there with the handprints on her boobs. It's a different time in American wrestling.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Well, I was watching all of it. Man. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for that kind of stuff, and if it wasn't for ECW, I would have never found Old Japan. And I would have never found my favorite wrestler, Kenta Kobashi, right there in the orange.
Now, boy, Kobashi, and I've seen, this is the first time I've ever seen him wrestle, Eddie, but I've seen pictures of him. He was pretty jacked. He was a freaking stud.
People have told me he's like the biggest Japanese person they've ever seen.
Yeah.
In person, he's just a thick boy.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
And just think, after we're going to watch this clinic, just the next month, Jay Leno's in the main event of a WCW pay-per-view.
You really did get in. Where's Bischoff? Why isn't Bischoff here?
He's enjoying Father's Day, I think.
Really?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, also the history here, Schiavone, is that Akiyama's first match, his debut match in 1992, was against Kobashi. And also Kobashi is his tag team partner, and they're in a faction called Burning. It's nothing to do with what you used to burn with you, but that's the name of their group. And he's not his young boy, but he's his protege, Kobashi's protege.
Can't get over how Akiyama looks compared to what I saw him recently.
Yeah, Dave Silva, I'm on the show. What happened?
And there you see the fans throwing the ticker tape there, man. A Japanese tradition,
right, so
if you will.
I gotta refresh this shit. Here we go. Refresh.
Okay, Eddie's refreshing himself. A refresh Eddie Kingston is pretty freaking dangerous.
Oh, can you imagine? If he comes back with more edibles and more energy drinks. You got to meet Kobashi at StarCast in Vegas, right?
Yes, I sure did.
I think that was his first meet and greet type thing like that here in America.
Right. Yeah.
All right, we back?
We're back, yes, sir.
Do I sound digitized?
No, you sound good now.
All right, great.
All
right, goodbye.
All right, Eddie. So Eddie, they start out this match just chopping the shit out of each other, man.
Well, it was the chop elbow sequence.
Okay.
And he's going after Kobashi's knee, which he has a known history of a knee problem.
Okay. Well, there you go.
His career.
They even show the knee. Now, I read, and of course I did, believe it or not, I did some reading up on this.
What?
Yes, I did. Kobashi was, am I right that Kobashi left and was one of the founders of Noah?
He was one of the guys that left. Masawa founded Noah.
Okay,
Kobashi was one of the big guys that left with him.
With him, right. So there was like a mass exodus of wrestlers that left and went to Pro Wrestling Noah. How does Eddie, and because you know all about this, how does the wrestling scene compare? I mean, I know we got AEW here, we've got WWE, and then we got all the independent promotions, but how does it compare in Japan? I mean, New Japan Pro Wrestling is the big one, right?
Yes.
Well, now, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, yeah. At this point in time, All Japan and New Japan were going head to head.
Okay.
It was kind of like what you guys were doing with WCW and WWE. You guys were going head to head.
Right.
And 1 minute, one's up. The next minute, the other one's up.
Right. Right.
And they just had to have different styles and everything like that. For instance, one example is these matches are longer. The Kings Road style matches are longer because the New Japan matches were shorter.
Okay.
So he was like, all right, they go short, we go long. They
Gotcha.
use submission finishes, we don't.
Got
It
it.
was very rare to get a submission or a tap in a All Japan Kings Road style match. Because in Giant Baba's eyes, it was, my wrestlers are too tough to submit.
Very cool. So
also, Kings Road style is more southern because a lot of them were trained by Dory Funk Jr. and Terry.
right.
So they were very southern in the beginning, and then they added their own spikes to it. Like right here, Jumbo Knee, the Jumbo Saruda knee that was taught to Akiyama, that Akiyama taught Takeshita.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, they were just trying to be different back and forth the whole time. So whatever New Japan did, All Japan did opposite, and vice versa.
This is because, but today now, All Japan Pro Wrestling is not what. Look, I paused on the 3 count. Excalibur has taught me well. Don't talk on the 3 count.
The man in the mask. Fuck him.
So, but All Japan Pro Wrestling is still operating today, but they're not as big as they were, right?
Right.
Yeah, not as big. Still going though, strong. They have a lot of great guys.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I know in Japan now everyone's kind of working together.
Yeah.
Really?
To try to help the business. You know what I mean? Like, I know New Japan has sent their third generation guys, which is like Kojima and Yuji Nagata, over there to help All Japan out.
Okay. How about that?
Isn't it nice when everybody works together?
I was thinking the same thing.
And Pro Wrestling Noah is also, New Japan's helping Pro Wrestling Noah, and all that's like they're crossing over a lot of guys.
Yeah, boy.
Eddie, have you had a chance to watch much Stardom? What do you think of Stardom?
Let me tell you something. Those Joshi girls are nuts.
Yeah, they are.
The shit they do, I would never, I couldn't do. They're so athletic. And they're just so good. Like, I'm an old school fan of the old All Japan women.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bull Nakano.
Yes.
Who I used to have such a major crush on when I was younger. I thought she was the hottest woman in the world, even with all the makeup and the hair all spiked. I just thought that was hot shit. Aja Kong, who I stole my finisher from, who did the spinning back fist originally.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's a lot more. I don't want to butcher their names. And then some fan will be like, Eddie doesn't know shit. But true, I just can't say their names. But I do enjoy Stardom. I enjoy every style.
Yeah.
Because I try to accept it for what it is. It may not be like Lucha. Lucha Libre is not my cup of tea, but I do appreciate it for what it is. You know what I mean? And I try to understand why it is the way it is. Again, when you love something, you got to go deep. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I love Stardom. I love just not any wrestling. Probably with the certain guys, I'll be like, they suck. But, I do enjoy Stardom.
What gravitated you? What caught your attention so much about Japanese wrestling back in the day as a fan? Like before you're in the business, I could see how as a fan, you're like, oh, I can borrow or as a performer, I could borrow from this, or I'm going to use that or whatever. But just as a kid on the couch in his living room, you pop in that tape and something hooked you. What was it? It was
about 1996. Just found DCW, just found tape trading. And the only two Japanese guys I knew were the Great Muda and Masahiro Chono. And I didn't know there were different companies in Japan. So I just bought a best of 95. And that's when I saw Kobashi and Toshiaki Kawada go 60 minutes in Osaka for the Triple Crown Championship. And it was the hard hitting. It was what now I call the fighting spirit. And those two guys, especially Kobashi and Kawada, are more westernized in their selling. So that's what caught me. The most sophisticality of it. to the point where I couldn't tell if it was real or not at that time, watching it for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, this is really when the UFC starts to get some popularity, especially on home release and stuff. I mean, I think '94 was like the first one. So by this era, there were a lot of people who were paying more attention to mixed martial arts and, as it was called back then, ultimate fighting. But this match in particular here, man, two of the hardest hitters of that era. I mean, Kobashi has been long regarded as being one of the all-time greatest in-ring performers. And that's back in the day when, well, candidly, Dave was maybe a little stingier with those stars. The match we're watching right now got 4.5 stars. I'm sure these days it would probably be a 5-star match. I can't imagine Kobashi ever even having a bad match. I don't think I've ever seen one. But it's a real treat for a lot of our fans who maybe have never seen any of this or been able to contextualize it. So it's nice to have some of Eddie's input about these performers and add a little more context, right, T?
Yeah, it's really interesting, and I'm watching this match and I'm seeing what they're doing. How it just, we talk so much about Japanese strong style, and I guess that's what we're seeing right here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
the origins of it,
right? And they came out, chopping forearms and that big high knee that we saw, which was, I mean, everything they do is with, and Eddie talked about the Easter eggs that we're going to see in this match, but everything they do is with such force. Look at that knee.
You can't poke holes in it.
No, you're right. You cannot. Or the strategy.
Tony, have you seen any Kawada or
Eddie Kawada? He was my best man at my wedding.
How dare you?
Oh, you said any. A-N-A-N-Y.
Yeah. No, I didn't ask about Eddie Kawada.
Okay.
He sounds like a painter in Jersey.
Is Eddie back with us, or is he just?
Eddie,
by the way, Eddie got his internet at a box at the bottom of the shelf at Walmart. Okay.
He's coming to us on a Sprint PCS mobile phone.
Yeah. 3 hours of internet for $5.99.
Yeah, Eddie still buys his internet with minutes. Hey, so Kawada though was known for a series of kicks that I think would just blow your mind, Tony. We gotta let you watch some of that sometime too.
Okay, all right.
But as high regard as we hold Kobashi in now, I think back then Misawa maybe had, the biggest and most attention from journalists and things like that as being the best wrestler in the world. But when it was all said and done, Kobashi's right up there, dude.
Yeah. And obviously Kobashi and Akiyama are both in their 50s right now. We've seen Akiyama wrestle, but Kenta's no longer wrestling, right?
No, he's not. He's retired at this point. He's 56 years old. But yeah, he's retired at this point. Gosh, what was that? Several years ago, like maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
See if I can find that.
What?
Yeah. So 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I like about, well, there's a lot of cameramen, of course, and they seem to just, but all these cameramen up against the ring makes it.
Do you see him drop him on his head on the concrete? Look at that. I mean, there's a little thin pad there, but my goodness.
Yeah,
I hope we get a replay of that.
Probably not get a replay, but all these cameramen around, okay, makes this seem gives a bigger fight.
Yes, well said.
Yeah. And all the seconds,
the young boys checking them out.
Young boys, yeah, right.
It's a totally different approach. One of the things I've always liked about watching Japanese wrestling is how just the production is different. Eddie Kingston is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, you're back now.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck!
So
I hate the internet. I hate machines. Did you see the half Nelson on the floor?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Schiavone, we got to watch Kawada, some matches with him versus Misawa. Their rivalry was fucking insane.
Yeah.
It was one of the best rivalries in professional wrestling. And Sooner or later, Dave Silver's going to hit me up to tell me I sound digitized again, and then we got to go through this all over again.
Okay. Well, you should know you should know how to fix it now. But I was talking about Eddie. Look at that. Just dropped him right straight down on these freaking his head. Everything looks so solid. I mentioned to Eddie that all these cameramen at ringside. Now in the United States, we would say, "Get this cameraman out of there. We're doing a TV show." But all these cameramen gives us a big fight feel, doesn't it? I mean, it elevates the whole product to me. It just looks
no,
so
I definitely
big.
watched this. It's just a suplex bang.
Wow.
God bless Akiyama's neck. Yeah, it makes it look more like a sport. It's treated more like a sport over there.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're in the know, but then they give like a wink. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's reported. I'm trying to make sure Dave Silver's not hitting me up telling me to fucking refresh again. But Conrad really loves this episode.
Hey, Eddie, tell me about the Budokan Hall. Like, this is a famous arena in Japan. A lot of casual American wrestling fans have heard about the Budokan. Give some context to how important this building was to wrestling.
It's the building that I'm dying to wrestle in. That lets you know. I know a lot of people say the Tokyo Dome. For me, it's the Nippon Budokan, because this used to be the All Japan hotspot.
Yeah.
And all the great main events were there. And my favorite All Japan match of all time, 6-3-94, between Misawa and Kawada, took place here. All these great main events for All Japan all happened in the Nippon Budokan. That was there. Like Stronghold. New Japan had Korakuen Hall.
And to be clear, it's more than just wrestling. The Beatles played here. I mean, Led Zeppelin played here. I mean, this is a big historic building, and wrestling has roots all the way through it. I mean, big sellout crowds pretty routinely. And, it's easy for us to get caught up in attitude era stuff, but 90s All Japan is regarded as being, the hottest market around. And if you went and worked a Wrestle Kingdom, even back then, it was a monster payday. And I mean, guys like Stan Hansen and look at that leg whip to the floor. My goodness. To the floor. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No, this is so well done.
But look how I don't want to give too much away. Just look at that. Look at that.
Look at his face. Yes.
Yeah. How
he's gonna have to fight through that. Yeah, that's there you go, selling. It's fucking pro wrestling. Look at that. That's beautiful to me.
Yeah.
Right.
To show the struggle and to show the real pain.
When it's done well, I agree. Absolutely. I thought about something here too. I wanted to bring this up. I had neck surgery in 1995, and the surgeon who operated on my neck, a very famous surgeon here, neck surgeon here in Atlanta, he had studied in Japan. And I asked him about studying in Japan, and he said, "Well, God, look at this." And once again, they working on the knee. Like, I asked him why he studied in Japan, and he says, "Well, all surgeons, neck surgeons at Emory study in Japan because Japanese people have a thinner sac of fluid genetically around their spine than most." Okay. So that's why we study in Japan. Okay. That's just part of their makeup. So with that in mind, I was just wondering how many neck injuries that these Japanese wrestlers have. I would think that they would have a lot of them.
All right, timeout. We got to tell everybody how these guys were able to pull off these incredible matches back in the day. And it all started because they had the right diet. They had the right vitamins. They had the right supplements. They had the right nutrition. But man, that was their full-time job. How can guys like me and you who are just trying to make it, man, just trying to take care of the fam and get to work, and man, if you're like me and you're busy, you probably don't think you have time to do that. Well, you do now, thanks to AG1. You see, one delicious scoop of AG1 is fast, it's easy, it tastes great, and it really is like an all-in-one, or at least that's the way I look at it. It makes my wife feel like she can do anything right before she goes to the gym every single morning. Now, of course, as you know, I'm not going to the gym, but man, I'm working long hours and I feel like I stay sharper longer. I stay focused longer. I'm more productive longer because I start with 1 scoop of AG1. Now, what's in that delicious scoop of AG1 in a cup of water? Because that's it. Just 1 scoop in a cup of water. That's all you need. Well, about 75 different high quality ingredients that give you all the Keely Day nutrients to support your energy and focus and strength and clarity. Think of it as like your all-in-one nutritional insurance. And listen, the reality is we all need to start taking better care of ourselves. And I can't think of a way that's easier and faster and more affordable than just 1 scoop of AG1. Seriously, it costs like less than $3 a day. That's an effective daily habit that's going to make you feel good and it's going to serve you better. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, why not try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase? Just go to drinkag1.com/WHW. That's drinkag1.com/WHW. Check it out. You'll be glad you did. That's drinkag1.com/WHW.
So anyway, that's a little tidbit. But that was back from 95. Is Eddie still talking? He's shaking his. This is the best I've ever seen Eddie, just shaking his head and not hearing anything. You got to unmute yourself there, Edwin. Okay.
Oh my God, the frustration. If you're not watching on YouTube, you got to go see Eddie.
Yeah.
We're going to see a guy melt down.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
I've never seen Eddie melt down before. It's something new.
Have you ever seen Eddie upset? I haven't.
No, I haven't.
I've never seen that before. He's always so happy and cheerful. I've never even heard stories of him being irritated or malcontent or upset. Those would be rumors at this point.
Nah, realistically, he's here he comes. He's going. We had him on. And again, Eddie buys his internet in a box of Cracker Jacks. 3 hours of internet.
Hey,
your special prize.
Tony, of course, we know that we can see you and Eddie Kingston on AEW most Wednesdays, Fridays, and now Saturdays. But you're going to see Eric Bischoff as you've never seen him before this weekend because Eazy-E's getting a haircut. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I've heard about that. I heard that he's getting a haircut, and I think it's absolutely amazing. You remember when he got his haircut on a WCW show? And
he had black hair, and then when he was done, it was totally gray.
Yeah. And I remember saying, "Oh my God, he looks like a skunk." And I said that on the air.
All right. Hopefully I'm back on. Am I back on? Fuck you, Schiavone. All right. I'm back on.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to have to do it again because there's a whip. Anyway, Bonnie, I'm getting back to your neck shit.
Yeah.
That's why they do so many neck bridges. Can you hear me, Conrad?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Right. So they do so many neck.
Conrad's so pissed off about this. But no, they do neck. I can fucking tell. You're like, I'm never doing this again. You know what I mean? I got to buy edibles, my man. I don't give a fuck about my internet quality. As long as it gets me Uber Eats, I'm good.
No,
so anyway.
I'm with it. Neck bridges.
On a sad note, the neck injuries are a lot there. That's how Masawa died.
Yeah. In the ring too, right?
Was because, he basically, I don't know, what I read was that he decapitated himself inside because all the years of neck injuries.
Yeah.
And you know, Akiyama, one of my heroes, got his neck checked right after that. Right. And it saved his career, and he's still going. So yeah, things happen.
Yeah, those spinal cord injuries are serious, man. And I was seeing this and thinking about you know, what the doctor had told me years ago back in '95, and seeing how they're just dropping each other on their head, and I'm thinking, serious. But the focus, really, the one focus has been the leg here.
Yes.
Of Kobashi, and it's
Kobashi.
Kobashi.
That's a different wrestler completely, Tony, just so you know.
Okay, Kobashi.
Like Kobashi. Anyway.
Eddie, how's your weekend going, buddy?
sweat my balls off trying to make sure this internet works.
Oh boy.
Other than that, it's good. I didn't have to be at work yesterday. I'm good.
Yeah, we had a good time. We really did.
Eddie,
Look at that.
Eddie, are you looking forward to kicking some people's ass on Saturday nights on TV too? I mean, you've been doing it on Wednesdays and Fridays for a while, but whole new day to kick dudes' asses on TV now. There it is. Yeah. I like it. $1, son.
You pay up, I'll be there.
So, Eddie, who can get it? Can anybody get it? Is that the deal?
Whoever Tony books me, I guess, because I don't care. I don't say no to the promoter. I do my job.
There you go. See,
whatever he books me in, I do my fucking job.
And that's one of the reasons I love Eddie Kingston. Just a pro.
Well, I'm looking forward to you running down on Collision with a gas can again. All time moment in wrestling.
Yeah, visually one of the better sights ever, wasn't it?
It's a fucking horror movie, but
I know,
it's unbelievable.
He's walking down it. First thing that goes in my mind is, oh shit, he's really snapped. He's really snapped. Everybody fucking run. Oh, it was great, man.
You know, we got to have Eddie back and watch some FMW with you so we can show you what some real exploding rings look like, Tony.
Yeah. Well, look at
that.
I
don't have to be fucking.
Let's just move on, Eddie. Let's just move on.
Okay. I'm
trying to make sure that you got me. Dave Silver just hit me up at 12:39 saying he lost audio again.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
No, we hear you. Hear you fine.
Yeah,
look at Kobashi fighting the stand, man. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at that face. That's how you do it, though. Look, and if you can, when you can get the audio of it, you can hear the people behind him. I hate it when people say Japanese fans are silent. They're not.
Oh, there they go.
Great. It's great.
秋山は膝を押さえていますが、しかし馬場さん、この小橋のラリアットの破壊力は十分ですからね。
そうですけど、今はまだ十分には当たってませんね。
はい。まだもう一つ。
So we got what they would call a double down, I guess. We're trying to see who can get back to their feet first. And yeah, what are the stakes in this match, Eddie? Is this a part of a tournament? Is this a title match? What are we watching?
Title match for the Triple Crown title. Kobashi just beat Kawada for it in another match that I show people. Yeah, and again, this is Akiyama earned this match. You know what I mean? We had a couple wins. Again, they treat it like a sport out there. It's not just about sports entertainment, I guess you could say.
Sure. I just
a lot of the storytelling, Schiavone, is done in the ring, not outside.
Yeah, right.
When they do like interviews, they treat it like a sport.
Right.
Where they're like, hey, how do you feel about your opponent? And they're not like, fuck. They're like, well, it's gonna be a tough fight, whatever.
I like they've really gone on the outside like only one time, and everything has been in the ring and just how he's selling the knee and God,
And Kobashi's known for chops, so that's his main strike. He's known for this face lock. Everybody had their own signature stuff. Like Masawa had the elbow,
right?
Kawada had the kicks, Telway had the overhand chop like Baba did, and Kobashi, which I stole, had his regular chops. So, you watch enough Kobashi and Kawada, you'll see where I stole stuff.
Not just you, but a lot of wrestlers. I mean, these wrestlers inspired generations of wrestlers. Lots of people have borrowed from this. And it was, from a critical standpoint, like the high watermark of wrestling. And you mentioned the Triple Crown earlier. Although eventually it was just represented by one title, the original idea is it's three different titles. The Pacific, the PWF, the Pacific Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship, the NWA United National Championship, and the International Heavyweight Championship. So there were 3 belts and then eventually 1 belt, but the Triple Crown, man, that's the biggest prize in the game here in 98.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And it's, you know what I mean? These matches were amazing. They were so, they were 45 minutes, but the story that they would tell in the ring is something that I don't think can ever be duplicated again. I'll try, and I know others will too, but I don't think it will be.
Do you think it's just because the style has changed? Everything's more high spot oriented and fast paced now. And the difference between that jumps off the page to me as a fan. Again, I know fuck all about wrestling, but there's a lot more selling on this than what I would see on a Monday or a Wednesday or a Friday. We're taking our time. Maybe it's TV today is more crash oriented. We got to get in, we got to get out, we got to move fast. This is more slower, methodical, and you'd have more time to sell as a result. Am I off base or am I close?
I think you're close.
No, you're spot on.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
All right, good. Yeah, you're spot on. You fucking nailed it. Dave fucking Silver's texting me, but you nailed it.
Okay.
And
I think a match like this for those of us who really love pro wrestling,
Yeah.
would be great. But I don't know if a match like this would fly on TV now.
Right. You're saying the tastes of the fans may have changed.
Yeah.
But I think to your point though, this match that was captivating such an audience here in July of 98 in Japan would have also worked in America in 88 and 78 and 68. Like this style of slow, methodical, but hard hitting and selling. That's kind of what wrestling was based on. Now, of course, the critics of this time, and you sort of alluded to it earlier, maybe with less stuff with guys falling on their heads and whatnot, but this style would have worked for decades prior to this as well.
I like how Kobashi couldn't even get up, right? And Akiyama had to pull him up like dead weight to put another move on him. And is this like the first time? This is the first time anybody's gone to the top rope in this whole match.
yeah, watch the elbow.
Oh, wow.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Hear me
Right
now?
to the back of the head.
Wow.
My goodness.
That's one of his there's a thing called signature sets in Japan where that's why I say stole, but I like to say learned.
Sure.
There's an exploder.
Exploder,
Is
right?
that right back to the knee, going right back for the exploder here, which is his suplex, which is his signature suplex into a cover. You can see the people in the background. You don't even need the audio. You can see the people in the background getting into it.
Right.
Everybody had signature things, like a signature suplex, a signature submission that they always, and you did it every match. So Schiavone, the reason why I do an exploder every match is because they did it like that. And they got it over like that. And same thing with the chops. Why do I only use the chops? It's because that's my signature. Everybody else can do whatever they want, but that's my signature, like Kobashi's signature.
Got it. Yeah, this is absolutely wonderful. It is on so many levels. Let me also ask Eddie and Conrad, but mostly Eddie, about how their TV is set up. They when they do a television show to get you to come to the arenas, is it a television show like we do? They just have shorter matches?
No, this aired 2 days after, Tony.
No.
So this match happened on the 24th of July, but it aired. We're watching the television feed of it on the 26th, 2 days later.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they don't do it the way America would do it. Also, All Japan, they're very old school business wise, where they depended on the house to make their money, not their TV.
Right.
And that was one of the problems Misawa wanted to change.
Okay.
Before he left. Oh, brain busted, Jesus.
Yeah.
But before he left to go to Noah, he wanted to update everything. He wanted the big, you know what Noah is now, with the big stage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sure. TV production value.
And and Mrs. Baba wanted to keep it old school, traditional, the way her husband wanted.
Right.
That angle right there that we just zoomed in on, Eddie, is that not like classic Japan, like to you, that I love it so much.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And Conrad knows it's beautiful because that's what we always saw. And then
yes,
usually in the beginning of the Nippon Budokan matches, here he goes for 98. It's super finisher you're supposed to have, or moves that knock people out and you only use against those big star opponents. That's also part of a story. Moves. What moves you hit on who. But anyway, sorry to go off. But there would be a shot before the big matches in Nippon Budokan of the Japanese flag, and then it would slowly pan down to that angle, Conrad. And when that was going down, then you heard the music and you're like, oh, it's main event time.
Yes. Even the video games from this era, Tony, if you got your hands on a Japanese video game or one that was emulating this style, they would show it from that angle. And occasionally you guys have shown that angle on AEW, and it still gets me excited every time. Oh, look at there, man.
Right there.
Let's track the audio a little bit.
Right back to selling that knee.
You hear that crowd? Look at all the photographers. They're chanting Kobashi. You could hear the crowd chanting Kobashi. They were really getting with it. This feels like a movie at this point. Oh my gosh, dumped him right on his head. Meltzer would say this was one of the best, if not the best, All Japan match of the year. The match aired on TV, and much of it had Akiyama, who apparently looked fantastic in the match, working on Kobashi's knees with hard drop kicks, dragon screws, knee breakers, along with a figure four and a scorpion deathlock. Before Kobashi hit a German suplex and 2 lariats for the pin. This is, I think Eddie made a great point when he says, I hate when fans say that, Japanese fans don't make any noise. They do. I mean, you could hear them getting louder and louder and louder and then chanting Kobashi. They're telling a story of, can our babyface, can our hero overcome this adversity? And look at him standing.
Look at that fucking cell. Thank God I just came back for this. Now watch this lariat. Takes his head right off. Boom. But that's the burning lariat. There's so many levels. I can go on forever if I had better internet.
So
that's it.
Explain. That's it. Man. Explaining burning lariat to us.
It's when he holds, it's a short arm lariat. It's when he holds him by the head or by the back of the neck and hits him with the clothesline.
Okay.
Stan Hansen actually, Kobashi asked permission if he can use the lariat as a finish. And Hansen said, yeah, but nobody make sure it's, good.
Yeah. How about that? Asking permission.
So, Eddie, we got some folks in our live studio.
Hold on. Imagine.
All right, we got to run a timeout right now to remind you that now that it's summer, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for those sunny, active days. Well, Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious ready-to-eat meals delivered right to your door. You'll save time, you'll eat well, and you'll stay on track reaching your goals. Maybe you've been really busy with these summer plans. I know I have been. There's lots of new travel. Feels like the days are longer. People are wanting to get outside and do more stuff. And that means some of those other tasks, well, they're falling by the wayside. We don't have time. So maybe we'll just hit a drive-through. Don't do that. With Factor, you can skip the trip to the grocery store. You can skip the chopping, the prepping, and the cleaning up, and you can still get the great flavor and great nutritional quality you need. I'm talking about Factor's fresh, never frozen meals, and buddy, they're ready in just 2 minutes. That's faster than takeout, it's cheaper than takeout, and you know it's better for you. Maybe you're looking for some calorie-conscious options this summer. Well, try the Calorie Smart Meals. They've got 550 calories or less. Maybe you're trying to be like our buddy Double J and bulk up a little bit. Well, try the Protein Plus option. It's going to get you 30 grams of protein or more per serving. They've even got like upscale. How about surf and turf or surf and surf options? Yeah, man, I'm talking roasted garlic filet mignon and shrimp. I'm talking Cajun spice shrimp and salmon. This is all available to you now with Factor. It's brand new, but they've got something for every lifestyle, truly. You want keto? Done. You need calorie smart? Done. Maybe you're looking for vegan and veggie? They got that too. And I mentioned the Protein Plus. Literally, it'll check all your dietary needs. These are 34 different chef-prepared, dietitian-approved weekly options. You can get premium ingredients like broccolini and leeks and truffle butter and even asparagus. They've got tons of add-ons too. Your stuff for breakfast like bacon and cheddar egg bites or bacon and egg breakfast skillet. They've even got snacks too, but there's really tasty stuff you wouldn't expect. How about apple cinnamon pancakes? That sounds like dessert, but it's a great healthy breakfast too. You can go ahead and round out your snacks, your juices, your shakes, your smoothies, whatever you're looking for. Factor can help you do it quickly, affordably, and healthy. You can rest assured you're making a sustainable choice too. These guys are trying to offset all their delivery emissions, and it's cheaper, it's faster than takeout. What are you waiting for? This June, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered right to your door. How do you beat something that's ready in 2 minutes with no prep and no mess? Head right now to factormeals.com/WHW50 and use our code WHW50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code WHW50 at factormeals.com/WHW50 to get 50% off your first box.
I'm that guy. Look, folks, if you're asking the question, get ready for me to refresh the fucking thing. I apologize for my shitty internet, but go watch Old Japan, pro wrestling from the 90s, Kings Road style. You'll see everything that inspires me. Okay, Conrad, go ahead.
Bryant wanted to know, does Eddie have a favorite Kobashi match? What is your favorite Kobashi match, Eddie?
Kobashi versus Misawa, Pro Wrestling Noah, March. I think it was 0304.
Okay. Eddie Prather wants to know, Eddie, who would be on your Mount Rushmore of Japanese wrestlers?
Just to take from each side, All Japan, New Japan, it would be Kobashi, Misawa, Masahiro Chono, and Shinjei Hashimoto.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hashimoto getting a shout out.
Oh, dude, he was dangerous, man. He would watch out now.
Tony David has a good question. I don't know the answer. Have you ever worked in Japan? Have you ever called a show in Japan, Tony?
Yeah. We did what was it called? It was 1991.
Super Show.
The Super Show, Japan Super Show. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when I
How do I know that? And you were there.
I don't know. Maybe it's,
I know.
No, yeah, I do too. Maybe it's because you're a mock and I'm not.
That was Flair Fujinami, right?
Yeah, Flair Fujinami.
Yeah.
It was the Steiners against Hase and Chono.
That was badass. Yeah. That was a badass one.
That was on all comp tape.
Yes, it was.
And then they also had Inoki come out and do something. I think he wrestled one of his young boys.
Either that or he smacked the shit out of everybody in the face so you can give them power.
Right.
By the way, what a great deal that is. Slap the shit out of them to give them power. My God. Josh Fields.
We got to do that one day, maybe on Collision.
Yeah,
yes.
Slap the shit out of
people in the middle of the ring, smacking the shit out of people.
God damn. I'd buy a ticket to that.
I'd do it. There's a whole shit list of people I want to smack the shit out of. So.
Do you want to start a list? No. Let's get some clicks. Josh Fields wants to know, Misawa versus Kawada in 94 is considered a masterclass in pro wrestling storytelling. Is that the match that made you want to become a pro wrestler?
One of three.
What were the other two?
There was one Flair Steamboat.
Okay.
From Wrestle War.
Okay, Nashville.
Yep. And who was Terry against? Jesus. It was in Terry and Sabu from like early 94-ish.
Okay.
ECW, I don't know. Oh no, the three-way dance. I'm sorry.
The night the line was crossed.
Yes. Funk, Douglas, and Sabu.
Okay.
And I got that tape in 96, but when I saw that and I already loved Terry Funk, I already knew who he was, of course, and I loved him. But seeing that I never saw a three-way dance before, and it was insane.
What'd you think of Sabu? I mean, you talked about tape trading earlier. He's like the first OG of tape traders, like the one I remember, like everybody's saying, you got to see this, you got to see that. And then of course the king of the deathmatch stuff from 95, but in 94, the buzz was about Sabu. What was your first impression of Sabu?
I thought he was fucking nuts and I loved it.
Yeah.
How do you not love it?
Yeah.
How do you not? He's all scarred up, fucking doing insane dives. How do you not love it as a 14-year-old kid?
No kidding.
You know what I mean? He was definitely part of that moment in time.
Well, it's going to be a moment this weekend. Did you hear that Eric Bischoff's getting a haircut, Eddie? Did you know about this?
Yeah, I heard about it. Poor Eric, you know what I mean? Just, ran his mouth and got caught again.
He did.
He
did. And I guess I was supposed to be the guy cutting his hair, but we're auctioning that off for a great cause. St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital is what we're looking for. We want you to make a donation now at cutericshair.com. And if you'll go ahead and post your screenshot using hashtag #CutEricsHair, showing that you donated to St. Jude's, the highest donor gets to cut Eric Bischoff's hair. This is a real thing. It's happening this weekend. Go to cutericshair.com right now and be sure to make a donation to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. The highest donation gets to cut Eric's hair. I think we should get Tony Khan to do a run in and cut Eric's hair. What do you think about that, Schiavone?
No. If you're on YouTube right now, you see Eddie shaking his head. No, we don't need to.
Well, I'm looking forward to cutting his hair. I think he's moved the goalposts enough. He said that CM Punk wouldn't show for Collision. He showed. He wrestled. Yeah. He did a promo, and now Eric's going to look like Lex Luthor. We're gonna make him look bald here. I mean, what did he say in Crockett back in the day, Tony? You bald-headed goof.
Yes. We used bald-headed geek too, didn't we?
Bald-headed geek. That was it.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
I forget exactly what it was, but
bald-headed geek. Bald-headed geek. That was the chant.
Is there anybody better at promos back in that day than Pistol Pez Watley? I don't think so.
I loved it.
That's the promo I'm talking about, though. You bald-headed geek.
You bald-headed geek.
Yeah.
You undercover hillbilly.
Yes. Yes.
Oh shit! Pistol Pez forever.
Pistol Pass forever. Well, Eddie, thanks for joining us today and making Tony watch some Japanese wrestling. Nobody died, so that's a good thing. Your internet did a few times, but you're always here for a comeback.
I'm so sorry, Conrad. I've been wanting to come on this fucking show, and then this happens.
Well, spend some of that money you're making on the internet instead of edibles and come back on the show.
I half-assed expected when you would disappear and come back, you'd come back in with a gas can just to pop Schiavone, like ready for it. This was a lot of fun today. Greatly appreciate all of you guys tuning in for a very different, a very special edition of What Happened When. Be sure to catch Eddie. He's going to be in the G1. I think he's a dark horse. Of course, you can find Tony Schiavone tonight doing commentary on Jeff Jarrett in a concession stand brawl in 2023. I didn't have that on my bingo card. And of course, this weekend, what a big weekend it is for AEW. Friday Night Rampage, Saturday Night Collision, and Forbidden Door on Saturday. A bunch of dream matches, Ospreay and Omega, Bryan Danielson, who we've determined today is not the GOAT, taking on Okada.
Fucking right. Fucking right.
Watch it on Bleacher Report. Get your tickets at EWTIX.com. Eddie, what else can we plug for you besides pulling for you in the G1? Anything?
I don't have fucking Twitter anymore.
Oh, good for you.
You, Eddie. Good.
I just saw some disgusting shit. Like, Bryan Danielson's the GOAT. Like, that was one of the most disgusting fucking things I've ever seen in my life.
Tony, on that note, it looks like it's about that time.
Ladies and gentlemen, and just like Eddie Kingston's internet, which was found in a box of cornflakes this morning, we're just out of time. See you next week on What Happened When. On Wednesdays, we come to you on Westwood One, but Mondays, we come to you on
Patreon, patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com. Fuck you, Schiavone. I'm with Eddie.
Fuck me.
Iconic wrestler Kevin Von Erich just announced his first public tour. The show, titled Stories from the Top Rope, will feature Von Erich sharing insight into his career, personal triumphs, and tragedies. Stories from the Top Rope will go on sale June 2nd at EmporiumPresents.com and will offer a very limited number of VIP tickets, which include a meet and greet and photo op. Von Erich, now 65, will be the subject of a major motion picture, Iron Claw, which stars Zac Effron and is slated for release later this year. See Kevin Von Erich live September 1st in Dallas, September 2nd in San Antonio, September 3rd in Corpus Christi, September 5th in Houston, September 6th in Shreveport, September 8th in Oklahoma City, September 9th in Amarillo, and September 10th in Midland. Tickets on sale at EmporiumPresents.com.
Hey guys, need to call a quick timeout here. Wanted to tell your listeners what I've been telling my listeners over at OU didn't know for a while now about all the cool things happening over at adsfreeshows.com.
On the debut episode of The False Finish, Chris Harris talks about his successful TNA run as one half of America's Most Wanted, and his not so successful run in WWE as Braden Walker.
To be honest with you, I wanted out. I mean, it wasn't, I was saying the right things to Johnny, like, hey, I'm going to make this work. But inside, I was thinking, I hate this fucking place. It's broken me down. It's made me not love wrestling anymore. That's kind of when my drinking took a bad turn. And I really needed out.
Buff Bagwell joined Ad Free Shows members for a live Q&A, talking about his road to recovery and sobriety and recovery from a broken neck.
We took an angle between me and Rick Steiner that could have been a unbelievably long angle, and they took that and just made it into a one-night match down Nitro, which I lost my debut match back with a broken neck. I feel like that was a bad call.
Who booked that shit?
That's just a small taste of what we got waiting for you. With 4 levels to choose from, see for yourself why Ads Free Shows is the best value in wrestling today. Sign up now at adsfreeshows.com.